Welcome back to B&B for Phone. Today is a spectacularly dramatic day in the world of Los Angeles fashion, and we are absolutely buzzing with excitement to break it all down for you. Grab your favorite drink and settle in, because the Forrester family is about to explode in ways we haven't seen in years. Let's dive right into the madness. We are looking ahead to Wednesday, May 13th, and let me tell you, the suspense is absolutely killing me. If you have been following the slow-paced plot of the corporate musical chairs at Forrester Creations, you know that things have been simmering for weeks. But here is the surprise. The pot is finally boiling over. Brooke Logan is making her ultimate power play, and she is using every single weapon in her arsenal to do it. We all saw Brooke make that seductive offer to Ridge, but now she is putting her actual business plan on the table. She wants to run Forrester Creations side by side with Ridge. She is pitching this romanticized vision that as a married co-CEO powerhouse, they will be an unstoppable force, wielding far more influence than Ridge ever could with his daughter. And you won't believe what happens next. Ridge actually listens to her, and he agrees. Can you believe the absolute nerve of this woman? I have to admit, I have a serious love-hate relationship with Brooke Logan. On one hand, you have to respect her relentless ambition and her fierce protective instincts over her daughter. On the other hand, the sheer audacity to waltz into her husband's home, turn on the charm, and casually suggest they dethrone his own flesh and blood is mind-blowing. Brooke is convinced that Steffy will eventually just get over it. She truly believes that Steffy will step aside for the greater good of the company. But let's be honest, has Brooke ever met Steffy Forrester Finnegan? Steffy is the ultimate successor character. She has bled for that company, and the idea that she would just politely hand over the reins to her lifelong rival is completely laughable. Ridge, of course, is a massive bundle of contradictions. I honestly can't stand how easily swayed he is whenever Brooke bats her eyelashes. He agrees to her pitch, but he is completely eaten up with anxiety about displacing his daughter. Ridge knows deep down that Steffy is absolutely brilliant in the CEO position. He genuinely loves working next to her, and they have expanded their relationship both personally and professionally. Making the decision to force her to step down is going to severely fracture their father-daughter bond. Ridge is already facing massive doubts, and he hasn't even dropped the bomb on Steffy yet. How long can Ridge play both sides before his entire family turns on him? And what about Steffy's reaction? Oh, it is going to be nuclear. When she gets hit with the demand to hand over her life's work to Brooke, the fallout will be legendary. Steffy is not stupid. She is going to see right through this so-called husband and wife power duo nonsense. Steffy knows exactly what this is really about. She will instantly connect the dots and realize that this entire corporate coup is entirely about saving Hope Logan and protecting the Hope for the Future line. Steffy has been dealing with Hope's entitlement for years, and realizing that her own father is willing to sacrifice her career to coddle Hope is going to push Steffy over the edge. I am fully predicting some epic boardroom screaming matches, and we might even see a physical altercation if history repeats itself. Meanwhile, let's talk about the golden child, Hope Logan. Hope is playing a very dangerous game of chess right now. Liam Spencer has been hovering around her like a nervous bodyguard, practically begging her to leave Forrester Creations. He wants her to jump ship and head over to Katie Logan Spencer's new Logan fashion house. Liam makes some decent points about how she is constantly mistreated under Steffy's regime. But Hope flat out rejects his offer. She is incredibly flattered by Liam's pitch, but she is banking her entire future on her mother's ability to manipulate Ridge. Hope tells Liam that if Brooke takes over the company, she will definitely stay. She is desperately hoping that Brooke will reverse Steffy's decision to bench her fashion line. I actually love this new, calculating side of Hope. She is no longer just the sweet, naive girl crying in the design room. She is actively orchestrating a massive power shift. She also tells Liam that she is deeply worried about the family dynamics. If she runs off to work with Aunt Katie, it is going to cause a massive rift in the Logan family. We already know Donna is terrified of the tension between Brooke and Katie. Hope jumping to Katie's company would be the ultimate betrayal in Brooke's eyes. But Hope isn't completely foolish. She asks Liam to keep the escape hatch to Logan open, just in case. She wants to keep her options on the table. She expects Steffy to be out of the co-CEO chair very soon, but she is smart enough to know that Ridge might ultimately choke and fail to pull the trigger. This brings us to the most massive plot twist of the entire storyline. What happens if Steffy digs her heels in and absolutely refuses to step down? What if Ridge's guilt overpowers his desire to please Brooke? Well, our sources indicate that Brooke and Hope already have a ruthless backup plan. They are going to target the patriarch himself, Eric Forrester. Yes, you heard that right. If Steffy won't budge, Brooke and Hope are planning to go straight to Eric to convince him to use his massive voting shares to side with Ridge and Brooke, effectively voting Steffy out of power. This is where the psychological warfare truly begins. Eric has always had a massive soft spot for Brooke, but he also adores his granddaughter. Forcing Eric to choose between his legacy and his lingering affection for the Logan women is incredibly cruel. And it gets even messier. We strongly suspect that Brooke will demand that Donna Logan use her influence as Eric's partner to sway his vote. Can you imagine the pressure on Donna? She is already running around trying to stop Katie from poaching Hope to prevent a family feud, and now Brooke might force her to manipulate Eric. Donna just wants peace, but she is constantly used as a pawn by her aggressive sisters. I really wonder if Donna will actually agree to this. Will she risk her own stable relationship with Eric just to help Brooke steal a company from Steffy? It is a massive gamble. Let's take a step back and look at the broader picture here on B&B for phone. This entire situation mirrors the classic Forrester versus Logan wars that made this show iconic. But the stakes feel so much more personal now. We aren't just talking about romantic entanglements. We are talking about generational wealth, corporate control, and the survival of replacement actors and legacy characters alike. The tension is incredibly thick. You have Liam acting as the anxious puppet master, trying to control Hope's environment because he doesn't trust the Forresters. You have Katie, who is clearly feeling completely overshadowed by Brooke, aggressively trying to build her own empire and willing to poach her own niece to do it. You have Ridge, the eternal waffle, standing at the center of a hurricane of his own making. And then you have Steffy. I have to say I am entirely on Steffy's side in this corporate war. She has held that company together through countless scandals. To have Brooke try to swoop in simply because Hope's fashion line is failing is the ultimate insult. When Steffy confronts Ridge about his doubts, she is going to demand unwavering loyalty. She will force Ridge to look her in the eye and admit that he is choosing Brooke's daughter over his own. That specific conversation is going to be the emotional climax of this entire season. What do you guys think will happen? Will Eric actually betray his own granddaughter to hand the keys to the kingdom to Brooke? Will Donna step up and refuse to manipulate her husband, or will she fall in line behind her dominating older sister? And how long will Liam patiently wait before he completely loses his mind over Hope's refusal to leave a toxic work environment? The psychological depth of these characters is currently off the charts, and the writers are setting up a clash of titans that will shake Los Angeles to its core. We are eagerly anticipating the fallout, and you know we will be right here to analyze every single tear, slap, and boardroom betrayal.
What do you guys think about today's drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of bold and beautiful news. See you in the next video.